Joe's team on that team was really impressed with their linebacker core and their skill players and the running back, quarterback. They're a good team, so I'm sure they'll have a good year. We did a couple dumb things at the beginning of the game, putting a ball on the ground and spitting and sputtering a little bit, but ended up catching our momentum a little bit, and it looked a lot better.
How did you like how you guys finished the second quarter and started the third quarter, minus the Cam Taylor break?
Yeah, obviously we talk about that as a team, trying to finish second, start third the right way. We did the exact opposite of that last week. I know they talked about that last week too, and they did it and we didn't, and those can be big turning points in games.
Morey had 168 yards of offense. That's sort of what you thought he could be for you going into this year.
Yeah, it's a long season. We saw a lot of things in camp that didn't show up last Saturday. Some of them showed up this Saturday. Some of the guys that we've been seeing playing well, and some of the good things we've seen happening. So we need more of it, but he's a pretty special kid.
Were you happy with the amount of guys who got touches in this game on offense? And I guess what's Oliver's situation too?
Yeah, Oliver has a little injury. We decided to hold him this week, but it's not anything that'll keep him out a long time. But it was great to see a lot of those other receivers play. We're deep at that position with guys that can make plays, so keeping fresh guys on the field is going to be important.
Of those 6 backs that carried today, which one maybe impressed you the most on the field?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to watch the tape. I thought they all did good things. Thought we ran hard. Still want to get the run game established a little earlier and a little better. We need our base run plays to get us 5 or 6 when they're getting us 2 and get us 11 when they're getting us 6. And I think that's a team effort. It's up front. It's backs. It's good decisions. It's all those things. And when you can establish run, everything else works off of it. And we did that okay today, but can still get better.
How would you what that quarterback picture look like to you, Adrian mainly?
Yeah, thought he made a couple little boo-boos early, but he also makes fantastic plays. We put a lot on that kid's shoulders with the type of offense we're running. Every single play, he's got it in his hands. He's making decisions. He's running it. He's throwing it. He's never going to be perfect. Nobody should expect him to. We just want to eliminate the bad plays. We put a ball on the ground early on a naked, on a bootleg, where the running back doesn't have an option of taking the ball. So those little things can't happen, but he's always going to be there to make plays, and he's been playing at a high level all fall, so I expect that to continue.
So that was on Adrian?
I don't know if the back clamped down on it too much to fake or what happened, but we're getting him out of the pocket with the ball, and the ball's on the ground behind him, so I didn't see a lot of those today. That's the good thing. I don't think we had very many penalties. Logan fumbled the one, but there weren't balls on the ground. We protected the ball a lot better. I'm so obsessed with making sure we don't make any of those mistakes, and I know the team is too, because that's all they hear about. That's where my focus is, and it shouldn't be after a win, but we got to make sure we keep doing those little things right.
Having fans in here today, just how uplifting was that, just to have that again after almost 2 years?
Gosh, that felt good. Just walking out to the tunnel, even pregame with the stands half full, and pregame was special, and I got a chance to walk through the tunnel at the end of the game with my wife and my son, and RJ was giving the fans high fives, and we missed the fans. I know they missed being here, but this was a dismal place without them, so can't wait till next week.
Adrian seemed really comfortable with the pace, and were you comfortable with the pace that the offense was moving at when you guys got going?
Yeah, I thought we utilized tempo at times. Thought it was better than it was last week. The tempo of our offense, we got to continue that. There's times we want to go fast. There's times we shouldn't. This game kind of lent itself to us going fast, and I thought they did a pretty good job of that. So anytime you get lined up quick and steal a play or steal some yards, that helps your offense.
Your seniors had all 3 interceptions, and then just you blocked the field goal too. Just the lift that those guys gave you in the middle part of the game.
Yeah, those guys are pretty special to me. JoJo and Deontay and Markel and all those guys that decided to come back, and they're our leaders and some of our best players. So I'm always happy when they have good things happen to them on the field.
Overall, would you characterize this as progress?
Oh, I would say so. We won a game set. Thought we did a lot of really good things. The team coming in here next week, watch them on tape already. It's a good team. They were in the MAC championship last year. They've lost some pieces, added some really good pieces. We got to have a good week of preparation, and looking forward to getting back on the field with the guys.
Thoughts on just the punt return situation? I mean, what did you see out there on a couple of those plays?
You know, we tell our returners catch the ball no matter what. And when the ball hits the ground, you got to make a smart decision. If it's bouncing easy and a hop you can handle and nobody's around you, then we want them to catch it and not let it bounce several yards down the field. Thought that one was a little too much in traffic, and you know, that weren't a ton of those mistakes today, but we're really going to focus hard on the ones that we did make and make sure we address them every time they come up.
Logan won the starting the backup quarterback job, and how'd you feel like you played today in the 4 drives?
Yeah, I thought Logan did well. That's kind of what I've seen from him. That was a tough fight. I trust the other 2 kids too. Matt got a snap there at the end. You know, I thought Logan played really well, other than putting the ball on the deck. So, you know, he felt bad about that, but he did some really good things out there. It was good to see him get some run.
He does seem to make decisions pretty quickly. Like he knows where he wants to go.
Yeah, he thinks through the game really well.
But that was you'd say that was close competition for that 2 spot?
Yeah, can we focus on the things we need to focus on here? I mean, Matt Masker's a really good player. Harburg's going to be a really good player. Logan won the number 2 spot through his body of work, and he got the opportunity today.
This was the first time that you played backup since 2019 in a game. Just how? I mean,
Is that right?
Yeah, Maryland 2019. You almost can take that for granted how important that is to give some of these guys opportunities like you got today.
Yeah, you know, we started rotating, you know, about halfway through the 3rd quarter. Got some guys out, got some other guys in. There's guys we're going to depend on for the stretch run, and it was good to see those guys get reps. I'm really looking forward to watching the tape and see how those guys perform.
It looked like you got a couple nice things out of the chance of Brewington, a couple of blocks, and then the slip out for a touchdown. I mean, you talked a little bit in camp, but he can help you a little bit.
Yeah, we got real thin at tight end during camp. He was playing receiver. Was kind of stacked behind some guys at receiver, and we moved him in with Beck. We're still kind of thin at that position, but I can't say enough about that kid. He came in and was going to do whatever he could for the team. Made plays in camp, learned it quick, and we had a little package for him today, and it worked out, and really happy for him.
It's been, I don't know the last time I saw a kid make 30 tackles. And there's a kid on the other team that's Ryan Greenhagen make 30 tackles.
Number 47?
I mean, all over the place. I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mentioned I was really impressed with their skill players. Their whole team in general is really well coached, but their skill players, and yeah, he's a guy. I mean, I saw Logan scramble there at the end of the game, and that kid came over and got him pretty good, right? I had to dodge out of the way not to get hit by him. Already had 31 tackles, including one on me. But there's good players everywhere in football. I think that's why you're seeing a lot of teams beat teams that they might not have 20 years ago, and compete with teams they might not have 20 years ago. Is that, you know, there's just more football players, and teams are getting them. And I was impressed with a lot of their players.
How much did your team need today?
Yeah, we needed it. We had such a good camp, and going into that first game, had high hopes, and I think that the kids really believe how much progress they made and how much better team they are. Then the game 1 didn't go the way we wanted it to, but that doesn't change the progress that we've made. You know, we got a tough slate of games, but we got a long season. We got to keep getting better. I think this team's going to be able to compete with anybody that we go on the field with, and then it's a matter of playing clean and making somebody else beat us, not beating ourselves.
Coach Chance in the stands. How much energy did that bring to you and your team? Just hearing this, team in the state root for you, and how much energy did that bring to you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I couldn't help but look around at the beginning of the game and see it, and the fans were awesome going to the game, coming out through the tunnel after the game. We missed them, and there's so many good, positive, all-in fans for Nebraska, and we're fighting as hard as we can for them.
Thanks, God.
Yeah.
Start players with Marquis Step. 18 carries, 101 yards. Questions?
Marquise, you left a pretty good program because they just stopped running the ball. They threw it so much, and you wanted to come to a school where you ran downhill. What was today like for you in front of that crowd?
Oh, man. The crowd was great. I've been in a couple other hostile environments as well. I mean, it wasn't really hostile today because we're home, but with big crowds. So it was nothing too new to me, but there's no fans like the people here. I haven't seen a fan base like this, ever. We barely, at our games, we really had only, probably about 40 on a regular basis. And, the fan base here is just insane. So it was pretty dope. Oh,
You want to run in?
Oh, yeah. The offense, we work every day real hard. And, it wasn't a surprise to me or anybody else because we know what we're capable of. And we do our job and, don't make mistakes and, just have our assignments right. We could do this against any team day in and day out, I believe.
That third quarter, I feel like we're starting to get downhill on them, like you guys had talked about all game.
Yes, sir. I think we got pretty downhill all game, in my opinion. You just got sometimes it's not going to be there, but you got to keep hitting it because one of them is going to break eventually. I felt like we had a couple good long runs, and I felt like the O-line, they blocked their asses off today, and they were moving the line of scrimmage. And, when they move the line of scrimmage, it makes our job a lot easier. So hats off to them and them doing their job. And after taking all the criticism last week, they came out here and really did their thing today, and I'm proud of them.
People expect you to take care of business in a game like this, but how much does the team need, an outcome like this after last week to maybe build some confidence, play some young guys, all that?
I feel like we always had confidence. Last week, not to really talk about it, but we beat ourselves. I felt like. This was the game that we were supposed to win, but you always got to respect any opponent you play. So there was no difference in the preparation from last week to this week. We continue to work hard like we always do and will continue to do. So we got to respect every opponent. They came out, they were hitting for real. I ain't going to lie. They was really hitting. 47 he's mean. Well, he made every tackle. I'm like, dang, man. But he nice for real. I ain't going to lie.
You had 30.
Huh?
You had 30 tackles.
No, he didn't. Are you for real?
Yeah.
30?
That's stated record.
Wow. 30 tackles. Really the stat sheet. Dang, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. He's a monster. I ain't gonna lie. He was feeling that today, but.
How much was it good for your room? Savion had a couple touchdowns. Yeah. You guys got a lot of guys with some production on the game.
All summer, we had a chip on our shoulder. People were questioning what the RBs were going to do this year and all that. But we knew what we had in the room. We continue to support each other no matter who the hot hand is. We continue to support each other. We continue to compete. And we're all close off the field, so that makes it even better. So, it's genuine. When somebody has success, we feel like we all have success. And there were smiles, no matter who got in, everybody was happy. Marv scored, I was hyped. When Sevi scored, I was hyped. Everybody. Gabe did his thing. Jock, when he got in, Coop. We emptied the whole clip today with the RB room. So, that's pretty dope. You can't. At most schools, I feel like that's hard to do, and everybody in the running back room plays. That's a good day.
Is it unique though that you guys do root for each other? You've seen teams
Yeah.
over the years.
Sometimes that can be when somebody else, some people can get jealous, but here, we have each other's back no matter what. For real, got each other back. It's unique because in a lot of rooms people get jealous, but it's really unique to see everybody coming together. Even if their number isn't called, but still, having that positive energy on the sidelines is that makes the difference. Because when your number is called, you got to be ready. You got a negative attitude. You ain't going to perform when you get out there.
Anything else from Marquise?
Do you feel like some of that comes from the fact that Nebraska spreads the ball around to different running backs and passes the ball to, so that there's not really a chance for one person to get it all the time? People possibly get jealous.
Yeah. Wait, what you said that?
You were saying that people don't get jealous here.
Right.
Nebraska spreads the ball around. You got the ball, the other running back got the ball, we pass it. Do you feel like that helps you guys not get jealous with each other?
Honestly, I feel like that doesn't play a factor at all. I mean, like, regardless, if you don't get in at all, we're still going to support each other. So I don't think it matters who all gets the carries or how it's divided. Like, I don't think that really helps. I think it's just we're very genuine people in that room. So, we really, truly support each other no matter if you don't get a play or anything. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, we're going to support each other. It don't matter, for real.
Are some of those young backs still kind of learning how to run at the collegiate level? The holes maybe aren't as big, those kind of things.
I know when I was young, it's definitely a process that you go through, unless you're like, Saquon Barkley or, like super generational players. They get it off the rip. But for most people, the majority, it takes a while because the holes close faster on the college level. So in order, like, sometimes you may think you have it, then it closes up, then you got to think quick with another plan. So I think they're doing a pretty good job. Honestly, I feel like when I was a freshman, I feel like they way ahead than I was when I was a freshman. It was and they came in and worked. They're very mature, and it's been they made the transition easy and everything. So they're very mature for their age. Everybody is really committed to getting better day in and day out. There's competition every day. People finishing the runs no matter what to the end zone every day. So we're just trying to, we're trying to bring we're trying to make this RBU again, for real.
Can you say one thing about the difference between today and last week? I know you scored a lot of points today, had a good day offense and good day on defense. Was there anything else that felt different today? We just eliminated the mistakes. You can't, and especially in the Big Ten, mistakes, the margin for error is so little. So you gotta, I feel like we eliminated the mistakes, and that was the difference, really. Because if you look at the Illinois game, we get a big play, and there'd be a holding penalty or something like that. So that it changes the whole game. You're on the other side of the field, play calling's different. So it's just I don't know. I just feel like eliminating mistakes really helped today. All good. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Samori or Adrian next, I think, is what Shane said.
Yeah.
All right, continue players with Adrian Martinez.
Adrian, I know it was not the offense, but how big a boost was it to you and your unit, Markel's block and Dante Williams' kick in the first half?
Yeah. Big momentum boosters. Those guys playing really hard, and Fordham had got a couple big plays, but the defense held up. And I think that goes a long way in just our continued building of what we're trying to do here and the trust on both sides of the ball.
How big did that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half feel for you?
It was huge. One of our coaches was kind of preaching probably early last week just about how big the last 5 minutes of a half are and the first 5 minutes of the second half, right? And so that was really big for us going into the locker room and then coming out, finding a way to get the ball back and going down and scoring again. And we did what we were supposed to do.
How much did you guys just need a game where you could rep it out? You had 65 plays on the ground. Just good quality work where you can rep it out.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge for us. We can go back on film and see what we need to get better on. But you hit it on the head. Big for this team, and I think just what we needed.
I know you don't want to take anybody lightly, but in a game like this, you go into it, really driving to get some distance where some guys who are working hard behind the scenes can get in the game and play today?
Yeah, well, we have confidence in who we are as a team and what we're capable of. So that means games like this, we need to come in and take care of business. And we did what we were supposed to do. There's a little element of that, but you can't take anyone lightly. You still need to come out and play your tail off because they were excited too. They're playing football. They're guys who want to be there. So you have to treat them as such.
Adrian, fans in the stands. You were out there with the Leafs doing the interview, running in out of the tunnel, fans there. What did that mean to you to see all those fans in the crowd and waiting for you going into the locker room and, for you today?
Yeah, at the end of the game?
Yes.
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool. Special moment for sure for me. I always appreciate that support, and just I know it's not like that everywhere. It isn't, and it's something to be thankful for, which I am, and part of what makes Nebraska so great.
Hit Samari 8 times for 133 yards today. I wondered what you thought of that fourth down pass where it seemed like the chemistry between you two was just perfect.
Yeah, I have a lot of trust in Samari. It's kind of funny, he's over there cheesing at me, so it's hard to talk. We built a lot of trust over the offseason, and I'm glad we got to showcase that today. I knew where he was going to be, and he knew where I was going to put the ball, and that's a big piece of the passing game, is just having trust, and I trust him.
How much have you worked on just manipulating the pocket? I don't know if manipulate's the right word, but just working up in it and maybe not taking off and running as quickly?
Yeah, well, Coach Purdue does a great job of mixing in different drills during the week, and one of those things is moving within the pocket and finding space to throw the ball. It's a fine line, knowing when to take off and knowing when to maneuver and make a throw downfield.
A little pitch play that you guys ran a couple times. Are you looking for keys like that, like on a traditional option, or is that something you look for, like a different kind of look when you run that?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too into the weeds with that one, but I will say coaches are looking for a specific look, and it is traditional in a sense. Some of the options we've ran in the past, and I'll leave it at that. But it's really not incredibly complicated. It's nothing crazy for our guys for us to execute.
A couple of years ago, Big Ten Media Days, I asked you about your linemen and about how special they are to you. What was it like today, those guys blocking and knowing that they've made you successful today?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're the key. They're the key to this offense, and they brought it today. We got in each other's grills a little bit, and I loved it. It's what we need. We need more of that, and we brought the energy out of each other. And those guys stepped to the plate, and that's what we need as a team. That's what we needed today. That's what we're going to need moving forward.
You say in your grill. Was that today, or was that after last week?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll just talk about today. But today, I mean, we love each other, right? So we call each other out, need to step up, whatever, need to bring more juice, and it goes both ways is all I was trying to say.
Was that early in the game today?
Yeah, early in the game. I mean, we needed a little boost.
Take one more. Adrian, you hit 17 and 23 today. The difference between today's performance and last week?
Yeah.
Other than numbers.
Yeah, well, I would say as a unit we performed a lot better. And for me personally, I was a little bit calmer and making sure that I was staying level-headed with my footwork, with my decision-making, and having trust in our guys.
Adrian, why do you feel like you were calmer today?
What's that?
Why do you think you were calmer today?
First game out of the way. I wouldn't put too much stock into it. I just felt comfortable with our guys and what we're doing. And we got to trust our teammates.
All right. Thanks, Adrian. What's Samori next?
Samori, all camp, we've been talking about how deep the wide receiver was. We have a lot of talent in there. Is it important for you to come out and be the alpha, like to be the guy that's Adrian's go-to?
Yeah, obviously every receiver wants to be their quarterback's go-to. That's just something that comes with the game, something that comes with the position. So yeah, I want to be his go-to target. I want to be someone that, he feels comfortable throwing the ball to. But also, like I said, we have a deep receiving core. A lot of guys that can go out there and make plays. So we all got confidence in all our guys.
How much fun is running that option type stuff? Or you had a couple of those last week, I think three today.
Yeah, it's super fun, because again, I have all the trust in the world in Adrian to make the right read. I know if I get the balls for a reason, I'm just trying to make something happen. So I think it's something that's definitely opens up our offense a little bit.
We'll talk a lot about chemistry between a quarterback and receiver. How did that show up today on the play?
I think just that drive going into halftime. We connected on a couple of corner routes, and it's just like it was in practice in fall camp and in spring ball. I come out of my break where I'm supposed to, and the ball is exactly where it's supposed to. I think that's just our chemistry and our practice coming to fruition.
When do you feel like you guys got to that point as receivers? receiver quarterback? Is that in the spring? Did that carry in the summer?
I would say we definitely got it in the spring. You know, we just got so many reps, and you know, we got on the same page in the spring. And you're right, it just carried over to fall camp, to where, you know, we started fall camp without missing a beat.
All right, look at your performance today. Is that what you envisioned when you came here?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's what I was thinking to myself, you know, running out of the tunnel, you know, looking at 90,000 plus, you know, like, this is why I came here, you know, to play on the big stage, you know, in front of big crowds. And, you know, yeah, that's exactly why I came here.
I was going to say exactly what I was going to ask, but I will ask you this. How much did you guys as a team need this after what happened last week, and confidence and the whole bit?
Yeah, we definitely needed this one. And we knew we were going to come out and play like this. You know, just like I said, you know, after the Illinois game, like, we're going to respond. That's just the type of team we are. We're not going to let, you know, a first game loss hang over our heads for too long, you know. And we came out here, we did what we're supposed to do, and, you know, we just got to let this carry over to the next game.
How did you get out of this, like Coach Frost said, it sputtered a little bit early, so how did you get over that hump today?
I think it was just, you know, communication among the team. Like, we know, you know, we can't come out slow, can't come out soft. We got to come out guns blazing, you know, like we did in that second half. And that's something that we definitely need to fix. And I believe we're going to come out next game strong and do what we're supposed to do.
Other questions? Good. All right, thanks. Appreciate it. Up Deontay Williams. 2 picks today. Questions?
I feel like you guys settled in after about a quarter and a half, a little bit, to what they were doing.
Yeah, basically we found out what they was trying to do in their game plan, and we attacked it. Got in the huddle. Coach told us what scheme they was trying to do, and I ain't gonna lie, they had a great scheme at first, and then we caught on, and then we had to shut it down.
How big a play was that block field goal from Markel? It looked like maybe his face mask.
Oh, that was a great play. That just gave us more momentum that we need. So to be the defense that we need to be, get a 3 and out, a shutout. So that was great.
Walk us through your 2 picks. What did you see on those plays? How did those materialize?
Them 2 picks was just preparation I've been doing all week, man-to-man coverage, just working on my techniques and stuff that I worked on in the summer with my dad, nose over toes. So.
What kind of prep did you do with your dad?
Just basically DB work, cornerback work, but I play safety. But traits that I've been working on, traits that I have as a safety is I could cover very well and stuff like that.
For plays like that, why you came back this year? I mean, you know, 6-year guy.
just to show that I could. Just to show that I could cover the scouts and all that, just to show that I could cover. I'm one of them guys that could play corner. I'm one of them guys that can play nickel. I'm one of them guys that can play safety and be the hard hitting that they want me to be. So.
You guys were put in some sudden change situations and responded pretty well. How big was that, just to kind of, as a defense, when you had to come back out after you got to stop on the muff punt and some other situations?
We know who we are as a defense. We know that we got the confidence to do what we need to do to get the job done. That's something we work on in practice, sudden change and stuff like that, you know. So we just got to attack the field and bow up.
Anything else for Deontay?
After no fans last year and then missing so much of 19, what was it like for you personally to play in front of a
Oh man, the excitement and the energy that crowd bring, it's just joy. You know you gotta give them a show when it's thousands of people out there. So just on that, it was great. First impressions, like I was saying back in media, first impression. If somebody never seen me play, I want to give them a show, you know. So there you go.
Deontay, at Big Ten Media Days, I talked to you about energy, and I talked about being a leader on the team. Here you are with 2, you know, today. I mean, what's it like, you know, being one of the leaders of the team and saying, look, this is Nebraska ball, this is the way it's played?
Just the passion that I have playing the game. Being the captain, it just showed that every day in practice I'm working hard every game I'm going hard as I can. I'm gonna give you what I got, and I need it back. So, just in that alone.
All right, thanks, Jonathan.
All right, thank you.
We'll try and grab one more defensive player in here, and there's some guys out there as well. Kansas City Chiefs in camp as well.
He was the first. Well, he was the first one. Everybody's scared. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got touch. Who is this running back? That Wisconsin. Who's this guy?
He's from Clemson. Clemson transfer. Malusi.
Transfer portal there.
31 carries.
I finally ran out of recruits. It's the first time in 20 years they haven't had a running back.
Bring JoJo in here in 2 minutes. That'll be it.
See that? 40 to 35. Tulane's got the ball. 4th to 13. Probably. They were inside the first half. They're inside the Wisconsin, inside the 5. White got 0 points. I know. Yeah. Yeah. A couple times maybe before they leave. But they won't. The thing is, they won't actually stay.
You got to send them out like you first year.
Yeah. That's a bunch of sacks.
Finish up players in here with JoJo Doman.
first career pick.
I knew that was coming from you. Yeah, it was special, man. That's why you play the game. You play defense because you want to make plays on the ball and you want to stop the offense from, doing what they're doing. So to take the ball away, for it to really just come to me was just a blessing. It's a long time coming. I prayed for moments like that, and I'm already ready for the next one.
Deontay was up here and he said they had a good scheme right off the bat. It looked like they had you a little off balance. What kind of did you adjust to? And because you guys kind of took control there in the middle of the second quarter.
Yeah, they were taking their time, lining up in a look, and then adjusting to what defense we were in. So we just have to have the ability to switch defenses when offensive scheme is doing that to us. And on top of, regardless of the scheme, we misfit some things out there. Which is just on us as the players. So we have a lot to learn from this game. We're excited about the win, but we're always looking for ways to get better.
It looked like after the muff punt there at the beginning of the third quarter that you sort of rallied the guys. I mean, especially given the way last week went, how much did that mean to you then to sort of bow up and get a stop when you were put back on the field in that situation?
Yeah, it felt similar. It felt like a similar situation. So, I was kind of just excited to be able to make another play. So just, this is what you live for. This is our job. We're defenders. We're defending them from scoring. We're put in an unfortunate situation. We're going to bow up and get the job done. So that's the type of moments you live for as a defender, and I'm glad we got the job done on that drive.
How'd you sniff out that reverse? Because, they obviously brought that play out because they thought it was going to be a big one, and you were right there.
They thought. But, the tight end was lined up at number 2 to the field before the timeout. I think it was a timeout. I just started, the air around me just started smelling different, and I was like, he's not supposed to be there. So when they motioned the slot in the backfield and it wasn't 82, cut split on the backside, I just shot it and I stayed home. Glad we rallied and made the play.
Other questions? What do you mean to have fans in the stands?
Everything. It means everything. This is why we love Nebraska. This is what makes Nebraska special. Everybody coming together for one cause, for Nebraska football. So for the whole Husker Nation family to be back together, man, there's a blessing out there.
Coach, was it a long week after the results last week? And, being able to come out here and get the taste of victory, how important was that to, move past what the performance was a week ago?
Yeah, it's everything. The most important game is always the next one. So, last week was a long week, and for us to come out here and get the job done, we still have a lot of things to correct. Win or lose, we can always look for ways to get better, and that's what we're going to do. So, glad we're even backed up, and we're on to Buffalo.
It feels like, and maybe I'm wrong, that teams may be running away from you a little bit. How do you stay focused in a game when it seems like they're you go the one way and they kind of go the other?
Yeah, I just have to stay locked into my assignment and understand that the ball is going to come my way one of these days, one of these times, and that I can still make an impact away from the ball, if that's pursuit or if that's making a direct impact on the player across from me. I just got to be ready. And yeah, it's a little mental strain not being involved in the game all the time, but that's part of the game. So when they run away from me, I'll be ready for when they run to me.
You had 5 tackles tied for the team lead. Your counterpart had 30. You want to
Counterpart had 30.
for Fordham?
Oh.
47.
30?
Yeah. You comment on that effort?
Respect. Respect.
How much of a difference can it make for some of the young guys, Kobe Bretts or Isaac Gifford or whatever, to get some run? Sometimes you look over that, but late in a game like this is really important for all those guys who got a couple series.
Yeah, I said it before the game. This was a program game. This is what we get to show what we're made of as a program from the top down. Obviously, we wish we could have got some of the younger guys in earlier, but needless to say, we got them in, and that's huge. To get in front of a crowd, to get real reps where it counts. The stakes are higher. That does something to you, to your psyche, and for young guys to get adjusted to that, acclimated to that early, is what we need. So that if we need them, in critical situations down the line, they're more prepared than they would have been.
All good. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There might be a couple guys still out back. We're still looking for the other guys. Thanks, Steve. See you next week. Yep. See you.